Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, a few things I want to go over. Let me do a quick check of where we are in terms of Central Europe, the hegemony that I desire to form. Let me see. We got quite a few states that are in Italy that I could seize. And friends, I'm thinking about it. Despite the fact that I am high in infamy right now, I am thinking about it because I could potentially, for example, if I just ganked Emilia-Romagna right now from Italy, nobody would step in and stop me. So, you know, thinking about it. I also think we need to do a tech realignment because, as important as all of this technology is, there is one technology that I need if I'm going to be able to accomplish my increasingly close forming the Holy Roman Empire, and that is multilateral alliances for reduced infamy generation. So, I am going to finish out shift work because it's basically done. Then I'm going to circle back from multilateral alliances. Then I'm going to snag radio, electric railways. Ooh, do I want electric railways? Perhaps not. I'm going to snag radio, and then I'm going to grab all of this delicious warfare tech. Reduce morale loss. That's not bad. Army offense. I think defense in depth is more important in the shortest term. God, army offense is really good. Yeah, let's snag both of these. And then maybe we'll snag sea lane strategies for the higher level ship and then dreadnought. But that's a ways away for now. So quite a good amount of unspent innovation going into tech spread, which is what we want. And who's Russia going after? Yes, that's right. Russia is going after Hanover. Sadly, I cannot get a become subject CB. It's so far away from what I have available. But could get a war goal. None of these appeal to me. So maybe I will simply support the Hanoverians unconditionally. I think that's what I'm gonna do, friends. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't desire... Hanover's already got Mexico on their side. Italy seems inclined to help the Hanoverians. Spain seems inclined to help the Russians. I feel strongly, extremely strongly, that I can take Russia in a fight. I think they are still using their original... Well, they're on skirmish infantry and shrapnel artillery. Okay, so they've reformed their armed forces to a certain extent. They are conciliatory towards me. They do have a lot of battalions. But I think I've got them... I think I've got the ability to outfight them. And since I am going to want to seize an overlordship over Hanover, I think I'm going to support them unconditionally. And this may be a huge mistake, but we'll raise our conscripts, and we'll put our armies where they need to be. So, I think I want the Northern District Coastal Defense Force here in Hanover, where they can safely protect Hanover from any naval invasion which should happen. And then our general commands I want on the Russian border, as well as the European Security Army, and we will set all of these to a strategic objective in Ingria, the Russian capital. Is this still the Russian capital? It sure is. Strategic objective and strategic objective. Alright. We'll see what else happens. I don't think Spain sides Russia. Alright, that's not a shocker. Not a shocker at all. Where is the Austrian Imperial Navy? There's shift work. Very nice. Where are you geographically? You're out here in the Bay of Biscay. You're doing convoy raiding. Why don't I put you in the North Sea? Trade convoys. I don't think the Russians can beat me on the oceans either. I think if they think they can, they're going to have a rude awakening. Yes, extremely rude. Extremely rude. Oh, do we have a resource shortage? We do not. We're just pretending we do. Stonks. Is anyone gonna side with me on this? Russia is worried they might back down. And that would be just splendid if they did. I'm above 30 in terms of force comparison, so I think I feel confident going forward. Do I want to try to do anything to get Spain out of here? They do have... they really don't have that much of a naval presence, so maybe I just don't. Obviously this is going to cost me a pile of cash. If I increase taxes, I could mitigate some of that, but I don't desire to do that at present. Now, let me see if my authority is still well spent suppressing the radical movement. I think it is. I think the radical movement is still poised to cause a problem for my nation. Back down, Russia. You can't win. I have the high ground. I have the Carpathians. I'm in the Carpathians. Russia, I'm so high up. You can't defeat me in the field of battle. 2 arms. Alright, so we are pushing forward here. Everything else looks chill. Private sector is using less than half of our investment pool, of our construction capacity, but that's the way the private sector does. We are pushing forward here. That's looking very good. The enemy's defense is not anywhere close to ours. To our attack. Gosh, they're a lot weaker than we are, actually. Irregular line skirmish infantry. Oh boy, this Russia, I think you beefed this one, my guy. I think it's properly roast beefed. I think you beefed it real bad. So, let me take a look at my very own, my precious war support. It's going down, which is interesting. I don't have war support from fervor, which is curious. So that means I actually need to get to the Russian capital in order to win this war, and fairly soon at that. The Devil's Paintbrush. General Thomas von Goden's use of dedicated machine gun teams in the Russia versus Hanover war has yielded advantageous results on the field of battle, leaving full platoons of enemies dead before they've even reached our lines. If anyone had told me that it would be possible to make a gun that would pull a cartridge belt into position, pull a loaded cartridge out of it, move it in front of the barrel, thrust it into the barrel, close the breech in a proper manner, cock the hammer, pull the trigger, fire off the cartridge, extract the empty shell, and throw it out of the mechanism, feed a new cartridge into position, and do all of these things in the 10th of a second, I would not have believed it. But now I have seen it done with my own eyes. Options are, whatever happens, we have got the Maxim gun and they have not, 20% extra defense for 2 years. Or Thomas von Goden's mastery of this tool is unparalleled. He gets Stalwart Defender. I'm going with the second one. That's a permanent bonus, and I like permanent bonuses. Sinking a lot of Russian convoys here. Does Russia have war support protection at present? They do. There's an enforced investment rights war goal in here that I don't much care for. My armies are all on offense, right? Yes, it does appear that they are. All play and no work. Ah, this event sucks. General Luitpold von Edelmann's personal habits are starting to get in the way of his role as a general. He's our arrogant pillager opium addict, aligning with the armed forces, a Republican. Luitpold von Edelmann smiles at the officer, exultantly, avidly. His eyes have obviously seen better days. Carefully recumbent on his leather armchair, his voice comes out as rubbery as the material. It's a stressful job, you know. No need to make it even more stressful. Fire him, or he's too valuable, reduce morale damage. We're going to fire him. The man is fired. Let's take a quick look at our armies. We're a little bit low on command capacity over here. This guy is not great. This guy, yeah, these guys are both quite old. Can I get a new... This guy's an industrialist guy. I'll put him in. Give him a wee promotion. Just to give that army a little bit more command capacity. Let's see. What about this army? Give this guy a promotion. We'll give... don't have a lot of other good dudes. So let's leave that be for now. The Hanoverians are pretty well guarded at this stage. So what say we send the Southern District Coastal Defense Force to do ourselves a little naval invasion in Ingria. And we'll see what happens with that. Well, yeah, okay. Alright, game. I get it. I need to get there. I need to get there. Russia is... Okay, alright. So I still need to snag the capital for this objective to matter. But I've got a force on the way. I've got naval battles beginning. Very good. Let's set these guys to interception. That will allow them to commence the naval invasion. We are winning against this fleet here. And let's hope this works. So, let me see. We are making good progress in Grodno. We're making some progress in... where are we? Kiev. Ah, yes. Fair enough. After Grodno, it's going to be Vitebsk, then Pskov, then Ingria. Force comparison here doesn't look too great. They got a lot of forces here, but we might still be able to finagle something. I don't know. There's landing craft. That's going to make that an easier ask. Actually, this has made this front much better, because now they're moving a bunch of forces up to the north. So this might prove to be a very smart decision long term. If we can start getting multiple battles going on in here. Now, let's get the Northern CDF, the Northern District CDF, defending against this naval invasion, which is what they're here to do. Nope, that's unrelated. That's unrelated. This is, okay, our side's losing there, but hopefully not for long. Perhaps I'll snag the Western District CDF and place them on the front as well, just to make sure that that front holds. The front must hold. Jarakuti backs down against the British, that's fine. Alright, so next we should be going for either Russian South Livonia or Vitebsk, and then up to here. That said, we are advancing on this front, believe it or not. We are dealing damage, and we are potentially gaining occupation. So this war might end a lot sooner than could have been predicted. However, we do have 3 different battles kicking off here, so I'm feeling very confident. And all these are going our way. So I'm feeling very confident in our ability to bash forward. Very happy with this battle. Don't know if it's going to continue going that way, what with this force comparison, but, you know, it always could. It's always a possibility that we simply continue to move forward at a rapid pace. We'll see what the next battle brings. Let's take a look together. Oh, we're pushing in. We're pushing in with this surprise maneuver. Dang. Nice. You get him, Felix von Bosch. Felix von Bosch. Western District CDF has attrition. Not sure why that is, but it's not on me. Is it? No, they don't have attrition anymore. All right, we're good to go. We're good to go. Still moving forward in both these fronts. I gotta watch this naval invasion to put my fellas into the front here when the time comes. The Ripper, gruesome murders. The Tribune newspaper reports a series of horrific murders in Niederschleswig. According to the article, the police are powerless to stop the murderer, whom they dubbed the Breslau Ripper. The ragged old market is full of police lights and pickpockets. The corpse lies face down in the street. There's a long, dark stain that has been following it like a patient hunter all night. The inspector moves closer. Long, dried. The red becomes lighter near the head. Move the body. He moves closer again. Butchered. Fetid. The smell won't leave the street for weeks. There's more inside than outside of that woman to see now. Closer. Closer. Long dried. Butchered. Fetid. Repulsive. We must bring this killer to justice. Adds the Ripper Murderer at Large event to the Journal of Austria. Let's... Where is it? Let's add that to our thing, shall we? The police have narrowed down a list of potential suspects that are likely to catch the killer. We can improve our odds by investing in the police institution. Oh, I think I actually have the ability to do that. We're already doing it. Beautiful. So, a dangerous killer is stalking the streets of Breslau and terrifying the people of Niederschlesien. We must do all in our power to catch the criminal before he kills again. We'll complete if the murderer has been caught. If completed, Niederschlesien loses the Ripper gruesome murders, extra radicals for political movements, and Austria loses a penalty to authority that we currently have. That's curious. Let's throw a consumption tax on on porcelain. Porcelain. All right. That's cool. We're going to continue to keep an eye on things as we go here. Does Russia still have war support protection? They do, but hopefully not for too much longer. We're pretty close to Ingria from both the north naval side and the south. Again, got to keep an eye on this naval invasion because if they ever get here, I'm going to need to maneuver my coastal defense forces to block that off. But if we can get ourselves a nice authority bonus from completing this Ripper Murderer at Large situation, then maybe we'll... We could be moving forward. All right, excellent. Yeah. No, stop it. Forward. Go forward. Stupid mud. Reduced offense. It sucks. If only he hadn't completed the mud maneuver. What a fool. I don't know why we've chosen to take Kurland here. But this battle's in the right place. Again, just Pskov, and then we'll be at Ingria, and then we'll be all in a happy place. Alright, so they are no longer invading here. That's good. What is our war support at? 64. Okay, we're holding, but we don't have infinite time here. We do have a battle moving forward over here, though, which is nice. There's anarchism unlocked. Very nice. And we're working on human rights in society. And there's high-grade explosives. All right, so our munitions conglomerate is producing high-grade explosives. That's very good. That's going to help them stay profitable on the international market. Spain is capitulated. All right, that's beautiful. I'm so pleased. I think we might have seized victory from the jaws of defeat on this battle. Because it looks like, well, now we're both in a... Oh, no! No! Win the battle, quickly! Oh, man. Oh, I spoke too soon. I counted my chickens before they had hatched. Alright, but it does appear that Russia no longer... Oh, right, because Spain was... No, that can't be right. I'm not sure, but Russia no longer has war support protection. So I feel extremely confident in our ability to win this war now that they're losing war support properly. The Metropolitan Police, the dedicated police force, has solved a series of high-profile murders in Vienna, thanks to our investment in their institution. Public confidence in the police is at an all-time high. Vienna by gaslight can be a treacherous place. The papers would have you believe that danger lurks around every corner. But all that is set to change. With a peeler patrolman on every street, our citizens will be able to stride confidently in the knowledge that they are protected from the criminal element. Medals for all our brave bobbies. 33% of servicemen become more loyalist. Or Vienna's finest are on the case. Reduced radicals from political movements for 10 years. I'm definitely going with the second one. That just seems like a no-brainer. 0% brain. No thoughts, head empty, only reductions in radicalization. There's human rights unlocked. Do we have compulsory primary school? We have the ability to get there. Trade unions would be... No, trade unions would be happier. Industrialists would not be happy with it. But we'll see what we can do. We've got all of Pskov now, so it's really just a question of getting our land armies that are here pushing in the right direction. Again, that said, we don't. We're just fine. Cash flow wise, we're a little bit Robert Porked, but and there we go. Now, what is this? A Hanoverian radical revolt, being supported by the Scandinavians and Selangor. Interesting. A democratic republic, you say? How fascinating. But the United States is supporting Hanover. That's okay. I can live with that. How's Rhineland doing? Rhineland is officially low in everything. So, low in liberty desire, which means... Oh, we have a truce with them for another 7 months. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. We can live with this. Do a promotion. The industrialists... Oh my goodness. Reading aloud is hard. The industrialists demand the promotion of General Ferdinand Heberling, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Miklas's face when the field marshal learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last he would have his due. Ferdinand Heberling has earned it. Industrialists happier. He's promoted to field marshal, or they will not force our hand. They get unhappy and he loses some popularity. I'm going to go with the first one. I'd be more than happy to make my industrialists happier. How are my industrialists currently feeling? They're currently happy. Maybe I will see about... oh. The Ripper, clapped in irons. The killer known as the Breslau Ripper, who has long plagued the state of Niedersachsen, has finally been arrested. The inspector grips his walking stick fiercely. He hardly smiles. The face of the culprit is dimly lit by the cell light. From this distance he resembles one of the inspector's childhood friends, his cousin, every other policeman. He doesn't even lift his head when they serve him some bland porridge. It's over now. The inspector can't take his eyes off the man. The light flickers. Someone has already told the press. The office is filled with voices. The killer mutters something. He hardly smiles. We got the bastard. Extra authority. Which is good, because I need authority for consumption taxes. Let's throw one on liquor. Get our cash flow moving more in the right direction. We're paying a lot in interest right now. But if we can bash away at this... Hanover, damaging relations. Hanover, how could you? How could you, sir? That's okay. I'm going to let this radical revolt play out. It seems like the Scandinavians don't really have much of an army. Which makes it a little surprising. Oh, I was going to say, it makes it a little surprising that they're a major power, but they're not. 74.8 infamy to turn them into a protectorate, unfortunately, but them's the breaks. Alright, so how much longer are we in this truce? August 14th. Alright, so we got a ways, but that's okay. That's okay. That's plenty of time to get our expenses down in preparation for the inevitable gaggle of Europeans coming in to tell me I've made the wrong decision with their guns. Take Piedmont. No, that's way too much infamy. That's so much more infamy than I desire to have. And so this has popped off. Looks like somehow the Scandinavians are actually winning, which, you know, more power to them, I guess. I guess the United States doesn't have any ability to get troops in here. They might have to go over the sea, the beautiful sea. Still doing well in terms of GDP. British Raj is still larger than me from an overall GDP perspective, but I'm doing all right with that. I still would love to take more of Saxony, but I gotta keep my eye on Rhineland for the time being. That's just the I gotta not get distracted. Getting distracted is difficult here. All right, so Egypt allows Austria to build in Egypt. Austria receives trade privileges. You know what? I would be delighted with this, Egypt. I would be delighted that we should be better friends. Are we not such good friends now? Maybe we are Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Let's improve relations. I've got a lot of influence to play with now. Oh, the French and the Spanish are shooting at each other. The French and the Russians are shooting. Oh my goodness, this is a general European war. And without me. How did this happen? How did this happen? Where is this? It's for the transfer of the Baltic governorates. Do I not have an interest? I don't. I genuinely don't. I have so many open interest slots. It's frankly stupid. It's stupid how many open interest slots I've got. All right. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again, because there's a general European war happening and I'm not invited. How dare they? How dare these Europeans fight a war without me? I'm crushed. I'm crushed. A tragedy. A tragedy. I'm just kidding. I'm actually not actually unhappy about that. I'm delighted to be where I am in European politics at the moment. Which is to say, about to annex Rhineland. So once I've annexed Rhineland, I'll have 3 more states in my pocket. How many more am I going to need for Central Europe? The form button, I need 35, so 13 more states. It's a lot of states. This is how I look at the... Oh, no, this is how I look at the thing. So if I can snag Emilia-Romagna... Okay, Emilia-Romagna is actually not useful to me. Or Emilia is not useful to me. Romagna is useful to me. Romagna and Tuscany are useful to me. Because Medina is in my power block. And I don't necessarily... They might fall out of my power block any day now. They could. In fact, I could boot them out if I really wished to. But let's not worry about that for now. Expanding into Italy is not the thing I'm too keen on. Let's take a look at this one more time. So, Central Europe. Okay, so Piedmont is in there and Savoy is in there. Provence is not, and then here's Emilia, Romagna, and Tuscany. So there's only 5 states in North Italy that are going to matter for me. And I think once I've got Rhineland... Wow. You're quite an untrustworthy country, Rhineland, I must say. It's a good thing you don't have any infamy, or that would be causing real problems for you, I dare say. Real problems. So once I go after Rhineland, maybe the next step is to get Gelre, and maybe the other states in the Netherlands. We'll see. We'll kind of see how it goes. Alright, here's your big war. Russia is losing war support at a rapid rate, actually. Taking a lot of casualties, lost a lot of battles. That's Russia and Prussia against France and the United States, as well as sundry others. Should be good to go here. Yep, truce is over. Let's annex. 22.5 infamy. It's quite a bit. 40% chance they say yes. No one likely to stand against me. Let's do it. They do not. Sad, but predictable. Let's go ahead and mobilize the armies. I should have moved these armies somewhere else. Sadly, I have... They're not in a great location for this war. I'm mobilizing all the armies just in case. I'm not going to raise conscripts. I don't think that's necessary. But we'll see. Gosh, I've done a lot of devastation to Russia. Just oodles. 30% devastation in Kyiv, in Volhynia, 20% in Kyiv, 20% in Grodno. Yeah, it's not great. Particularly because most of it is to Poland, not Russia proper. Bengali uprising in the British Raj, you get them. And I have a lot of countries I could sway onto my side, but a lot of countries that could potentially go to my enemies. Belgium sides with Rhineland, okay. Is Belgium in the area of... It is. So, if I added a war goal to steal... So I could have Italy on the other side, so I need to be careful. To steal Wallonia. That's a ton of infamy. Just a huge amount. But... well, the temptation is very high. The temptation is so very high. Britain will say yes with a call ally. France will say yes with probably a transfer of Alsace-Lorraine, but that doesn't help me much. I'm going to keep an eye on it for the moment. Keeping infamy low is useful. And I want to keep an eye on who is in this war and who is not. Because that's really the key to understanding what's going on here. These forces are... not on the front anymore. Okay, things are holding. Again, if Italy joins, this is actually a larger war than it looks like. But this is a good time for me to snag some more of the states that I desire. On the other hand, after this is a better time to snag some of these states, because Prussia and all the other European powers are occupied. So maybe I hold off. I actually, yes, now that I'm thinking on it, I hold off. There's feminism. This is going to get me close to multilateral alliances. Yeah, a year and a half to multilateral alliances, and that's going to make all this business a whole lot easier, because it's going to be lower infamy generation. I seem to have fallen somewhat in... oh, the Kleinberger are unhappy. So that's why I'm low on bureaucracy. That's okay. That's okay. Is there anywhere I need to build up more bureaucracy? Not Elsa. Oh, Elsass-Lothringen I actually do. But also Württemberg. Alright. Württemberg, you need 1 level. Elsass-Lothringen, you need 4 levels. Easy peasy. Lemon tart. That's how the saying goes, right? Ottoman going after Greece, or Greece going after Ottoman for a conquest of Eastern Thrace, Hudavendigar, and Uskop. I don't know where that is. Oh, Skopje? Skopje, yes. Well, Greece, I must say, that seems wildly ambitious, but you do you, I guess. Let's bring our other army in here. Since it doesn't seem like there's going to be anyone getting involved on the other side, I can happily bring as many troops in here as I desire. I'm more than happy to have a truce with you, Belgium. Belgium is, like, surprisingly strong. It's a small country, but they got a good, solid, industrial base. They're very powerful early game. They're very powerful technologically early game. Wow, we are going in there fast. Just check my mobilization options, make sure I'm good to go. I do appear to be. Unfairly denied entry. Meren. Franco-Provençal people in Meren are being blocked from entering certain businesses by some local South German people. I've been going to this shop for years. Why is there suddenly a sign in the window saying people like me aren't welcome? Everyone must be allowed, reduced authority, or shopkeepers can sell or not sell to who they like. I say everyone must be allowed. I've got the authority to play with. Maybe that was a mistake, but it is what it is. And soon Rhineland will be annexed, and then we can start going after these other places. Now, I've got a good opportunity to snag Westfalen from Prussia. Hannover, are you still in the midst of a war? You're not. Let's start improving relations again. Because they're going to be our protectorate soon. Spread thin. The limited political resources of the intelligentsia have made the group's leadership question its membership in both the Anti-Japanese League and the Austrian-French Fellowship. And for office supplies, on average, the auditor turned to page the relevant entry and ran his eyes down the column. 300 crowns per month. For the man who sat across from him, the world was beginning to spin. You're certain? And 1,200 for work-related travel expenses. Excuse me, he managed. Could I have a copy of the manifest? I need to meet with my colleagues at once. There's no reason to remain in the Anti-Japanese League. Membership of the Austrian-French Fellowship is no longer useful, or abandoning either would be unwise. They get weaker instead of leaving one of those things. Anti-Japanese League is very happy. Austrian-French Fellowship is fine. So we'll have them leave the Austrian-French Fellowship. Keeping the intelligentsia happy will keep things very chill in our nation. We are winning battles here. We are getting occupation progress in Rhineland, and the capital over there is Nordrhein. And are we making occupation progress in Nordrhein? We are. Alright, so this should be fine. Obviously, Austrian Gelre is in a little bit of a hard, difficult state, but that's not going to be that way for long. Cash flow is not great, but it could be a lot worse for the middle of a war. How is incorporation for Alsace-Lotharingen? We're fully incorporated. Are we good on taxation capacity? We are. Just barely. Just barely. So, it's simply a matter of pressing through the Rhineland, and then we'll be good to go. If I want to get a hold of Saxony, I still need to get a hold of Saxony. But once I got a hold of Saxony, then all I need to get a hold of is Saxony. And then I'll have a hold of all of Saxony. Simple enough, right? 19th century German geography, hooray! Alright, and that is going to be basically it. That's going to link up these areas, and now we're pressing forward into Belgium. I'm proud of my self-restraint here, keeping my infamy at a moderate level. I know this isn't a huge accomplishment for most people, but I'm more of a role player. I like to play things straightforward. Trade unions are of course furious. We do still have hereditary bureaucrats. I could do something about that now. Let's go with, let me see. For appointed bureaucrats, you get extra tax capacity. If we go with elected, we get reduced institution cost multiplier. Elected strengthens the Kleinbürger. Appointed strengthens the Petit Bourgeois. No. It doesn't weaken the intelligentsia. So elected seems better for our overall situation. So let's go with elected bureaucrats. And that is the Rhineland annexed. So, Rhineland left the Metternich system. Okay. Now we reset production methods. What production methods do you want to reset in Niederschlesien? Okay, no, just sugar beets. Alright. Alright, we're good. We're good to go. Let me take a quick look at where my armies are, because I don't want them somewhere that's not good. Alright. Coastal defense forces are where we want them. So, from here, we are steadily moving. Okay, we're only at 22. Okay, so those ones were already counted. So the question is, if we go for a protectorate over Hannover now, Japan steps in, and maybe Mexico does too. I don't feel like that is an issue for me. On the other hand, I could wait. I don't desire to wait. Now is a good time to do this. We are improving relations with them. Hmm. 26.8 infamy. So the other option is I wait for 1 year for multilateral alliances, and I think that's the right call, actually. Russia is antagonistic towards us. France is antagonistic, but we're improving relations. Britain is still amicable. Scandinavia is neutral. On the other hand, all the European powers are occupied, so now's really a good time. Let's do it. Hanover supporting separatism, blah, blah, blah. I should only need the one army. Now I'm obviously pretty high in infamy, but I'm getting extra infamy decay from... Huh. Without compensation, you say? Britain, do tell me. Huh. Under interventionism. How very curious. Maybe they paid it to my investment pool. Anyway, we'll see who gets involved in this. Looks like Italy will not be involved. Again, Japan is threatening to, but who knows if they're actually going to do anything. Pretty much all the way across the world. I am improving relations. Obviously, relations are getting much worse due to me forcing them to be a protectorate. But, you know, it's them's the breaks. Can I fund lobbies? Doesn't appear that I can. Not yet, anyway. Don't worry. We'll find the time to. Because once we've made Hanover a protectorate, a lot of this stuff we're doing in Western Germany will be easier. So, a third opinion. As the debates around the elected bureaucrats' law stall, Heinrich Ermann has motioned to pass the proposal to a commission of experts to break the deadlock. One caucus's opinion is a token, two is a minority. Two caucuses represent the aggregated opinions of most people. Two caucuses representing the aggregated opinions of most people is still a minority, especially when those caucuses come with a lack of life or professional experience. Can the Treasury bear such expense? Cost us a huge pile of cash, but extra enactment chance. Put an open call out for any experts. Weaker armed forces, 40% chance of extra enactment chance, 60% chance of no effect. Or see if our universities will provide. 10% extra enactment success chance. So this is available because we've got a level 3 or higher university. Beautiful. I'm going with that third option. And that is how it goes. Cash flow is still pretty good. Again, infamy is high, but it won't be too high for too long. Yeah, I'm very pleased to be at war and still in a good spot in the black financially. Europeans are shooting at each other. The Ottomans are taking back the territory that the Greeks had previously seized. Greece, I don't know why you thought that was going to work. Sadly, I can't help you. I simply cannot afford the infamy, Greece. Greece, I can't afford the infamy. It's not you, it's my infamy. I need to worry about my infamy, Greece. Let's pull the Austrian Imperial Navy back to Germany. I really need to remember to keep the Austrian Imperial Navy in a reasonable location, because I have been absolutely Robert Borked in previous runs. Hanover backs down. That's lovely. Overlord actions. We will offer them knowledge sharing. We will support their regime. And what does that do to their liberty desire? Their liberty desire is high, but it's going to go way down when our infamy goes down. And I have the ability to seize some states. Ooh. It's going to be a lot of infamy. Oh, not this one. So this is part of a state that they own already. So that is a good state seizure target. That said, I'm gonna wait. I have to get below 50 infamy on this, because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just straight out gosh, what's even the word? Ooh, excellent. Where I'm just straight out taking high liberty desire on Hanover's part, by just due to having huge infamy. Let's get their economy entangled in mine a little bit. Anything I can build fast? I can build oil wells. Do they have the infrastructure? They certainly do. So let's build some oil wells. Now, what about Elbe? Elbe also has oil available in the ground. And they've got the infrastructure to support some oil infrastructure. So this is lovely. We are going to build up a very solid oil extraction apparatus in Hanover, and that is going to make the country more entangled with us economically, which is in turn going to make them less likely to revolt. Everything's coming up, Leopold. Everything's coming up, Franz Joseph. There we go. Tragedy in the woods. Rudolf von Habsburg-Lothringen has been found dead with his lover at his hunting lodge. With fervor and haste, police seal off the gruesome scene at the hunting lodge and launch an investigation into the circumstances of Rudolf von Habsburg-Lothringen's death. All evidence in the dossier on the investigation must be submitted directly to the Minister for Police, before it is deposited in the state archives. Cover up the circumstances of his death at all costs, reduce legitimacy, or implicate Rudolf von Habsburg-Lothringen's lover. This reduces the popularity of my emperor for 5 years, but it doesn't reduce my legitimacy. I'm going with the second one. That's going to cost me a little bit of authority, but only a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. So now, with a bunch of German territory thoroughly enclosed, I can simply start conquering this way. And once I've got Westfalen from Prussia, I can seize these and incorporate them into Hanover. And that will get Hanover's liberty desire moving way, way down. And that will be very nice. I could hand off Braunschweig to them immediately. What would that do? That would reduce their liberty desire by 39. Decrease on autonomy. I could get them down to puppet immediately if I handed over Braunschweig. But let's wait. Let's wait for now. We'll manage our infamy. We'll build our oil wells. We'll manage our infamy, and then we'll be reasonable. The Vienna Citizens Association, a social club popular with the educated class, has held a salon in Vienna, with Thomas Mittermeier speaking in favor of elected bureaucrats as an honored guest. That is indubitably the case, but have you considered what the reception of such a thing would be? Mittermeier nodded towards the speaker, then back around the wood-paneled room. He put down his cup. I have spent some time thinking on it. We must, in all things, consider the thoughts of those who behold a thing for the first time. A first viewing is carried out with the eyes of an innocent, with open mind for new possibilities. They seem like the sort to know what is best, extra enacting success chance, or encourage further development of these salons. Let me see. Increased universal political strength in Austria, increased qualifications, extra minimum expected standard of living from literacy, and only 5% enacting chance. I'm going to go with 10% enacting chance instead. I think that's reasonable. All right. Oil wells are nearly done, or oil rigs, I should say, not wells. Looks like the French and their allies, the Americans, are winning against the Russians and the Prussians and the Spanish. So good on you, France. Do both sides have war support protection at present? It certainly appears that the Prussians don't. So that's fun. Obviously now's a good time to go after them because they're in a huge war, but also I don't want to be in a situation where I'm, number one, trying to wage a war while I'm pretty badly in debt. And again, 20k interest per week is not terrible, or 30k. It's close to 30k in interest, but I'm also high in infamy, and managing my infamy is a powerful motivator for me in this small moment. We have gotten them better entangled with us emotionally, economically. Poor relations is also causing a problem with this, but that's going to go away before too long, once we get above -20. Both of those are going to make this whole situation a lot easier. And I realize I'm putting myself in a very similar situation to the situation I put myself in with Elba, but the thing is, I've got a better plan this time. I can pass them Braunschweig and get them down below 25. Then I can reduce their autonomy. Then I can reduce subject payments, or than I was doing with Rhineland. Then I can reduce subject payments, and after that, they'll be really, really low in baseline liberty desire gain. More importantly, though, hey, we're in ascent. Excellent. More importantly, though, once they're a subject, a puppet rather than a protectorate, I will be in a position to march across them to seize these territories, to further incorporate into them, to make them even lower in liberty desire. Beautiful. There's multilateral alliances. That's going to make all of this stuff I'm trying to do a ton easier. Getting there, getting there. We are getting there. So, in the meantime, again, once I've got them, I can start snagging these tiny countries. It's going to be a little bit of infamy, but we're going to get their liberty desire down through passing them states, and that's going to be better for us overall. Their current liberty desire is 53, so unless they're... yeah, it'll be a while. I don't think they're going to be able to get to the point where passing them Braunschweig is not going to get them below 25. Obviously, when we do that, they're going to get above... they're going to get 50 more, because we're going to reduce their autonomy. But I'm not too worried about that. And again, I want to do all this once my infamy is lower, because then I can just simply seize what I wish to seize and be done with it. A little trip in... what's this? Oh, that's probably a big conquest. Big conquest of a less literate area. So after I do elected bureaucrats, what else do I want to do? I think this is important for the long-term stability of the government. Ending the Crownland Diets is also going to potentially reduce the power of the Austrian aristocracy. The minor interests. Regardless of the governing caucus's stance, the fiercest debates on elected bureaucrats come from these two, the Austrian aristocracy and the populists stirred by Heinrich Ermart's movement. The end is nowhere in sight, so he's a Republican aligned with the industrialists. Once in a blue moon, the government sees a minor issue to appease an ally or placate an enemy. Invariably, it crosses someone else's line. Some might call enemy of my enemy and expect an alliance of convenience. Others, often rightly, expect a velveteen fist. Let them bicker. A 33% chance, one-third each chance, equal chance of three options. The industrialists get stronger and the Austrian aristocracy get angrier. The industrialists get angrier and the Austrian aristocracy gets stronger. Or 2% of lower stratum pops and the whole country become more radical. Take advantage of the populist pressure. Liberal movement becomes more active. Austrian aristocracy becomes much weaker and angrier. Or back to the Austrian aristocracy, liberal movement goes down in activism. Austrian aristocracy gets stronger. So this is interesting. Liberal movement, oh, they have no activism. Yeah, we'll weaken the Austrian aristocracy by making the liberal movement functionally 0% more active. That's no problem at all. Concrete dockyards, wonderful. So where are we in tech? We're working on telephone right now, and that'll get us to radio and then defense in depth. That'll keep us ahead in the military game. Great Britain, you're going after Zulu. That's fine with me. I may get pulled in to assist you, but I will not have any problem with you doing it. After that, I think we're going to continue to leave our reform situation where it is. We've got cultural exclusion, we've got separation of church and state, we're at oligarchy. I have to think there's a kind of a way to get a technocrat heading up our industrialists so that we can go to a technocracy. A technocracy would be a royal technocracy would be a very modern authoritarian way to run Austria. And that is something I would like to move forward towards doing, because that's my shtick, right? Another question to ask myself is, are there... Okay, Schleswig-Holstein is in the Central Europe set of states. So that is a place I can look towards as a target. Scandinavia obviously is not a very hard target, what with their only having 30 battalions in their army. This territory is not very highly populated. There's only 10 million people in the whole area. For population, they are very far behind many other countries, including Italy and Spain, by more than half. This is very common. There's a lot of states and not a lot of industry organized in them and concentrated in them, and it often happens that they simply have a little bit of a population collapse everywhere. Allies of convenience. Just as the elected bureaucrats' law looked ready to topple, the intelligentsia found itself rallying with the assistance of Thomas Mittermeier. It now has the support it needs to pass without compromise. When the support was called, the unlikeliest hand in the audience rose. Another hand lifted, and a third behind them. The faction with the least to gain from its passage, yet nothing to lose either way, assents. Cheers of exuberance followed howls of defeat as the law charged on ahead. Welcome their support. Stronger intelligentsia. 1% of South German pops in Austria become more loyalist. 5% enactment chance. Or tally this favor, they certainly will. Stronger intelligentsia and stronger armed forces, but also happier, and 5% enactment success chance. So that's interesting. I do love to get happier armed forces. But 1% of South German pops become more loyalist is a lot. So I'm going to go with the first one. It is simply the most sensible way to look at things. How much does that mean? It's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so now we should have Hanover going down in Liberty Desire. And as soon as we get above 20... Well, they're currently neutral. As soon as they get above 20, they'll be going down. Which means I can now do my little scheme. Which is I can pass them Braunschweig. That reduces... Oh, interesting. Only by 19 now. How curious. That's weird. Maybe I misread it before. Anyway, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. They'll be moving down in Liberties. Oh, they got a stupid support independence. From Prussia, of all people. Prussia, aren't you in the middle of a mega war? Gosh dang it. How dare. The Red Scare. The rise of the communist regime in Italy has spurred a sense of terror and mistrust across Austrian society. Many fear that Austria will be the next to fall to communism. Every newspaper on the stand bore a title more extreme than the last. Shrill newsboys hawked them on corners, sending competing claims of atrocity and terror across the streets. Assassins and madmen claim power in Italy, cried one of them. Recovered Red Bible reveals agenda of world revolutionists, shouts another. And amidst all of them marched 10,000 wide-opened ears, soaking up each sensational word as they hurried along to their stations. It could happen here. 2% of Austrian upper stratum pops become more loyalist. Trade unions become significantly weaker and angrier. A panic would be wholly unwarranted. 2% of lower stratum pops in Austria become more loyalist. Everyone else gets angry and a little weaker. It could happen here. We're going with reactionary authoritarianism. That's absolutely what we're going to do. Someone's going for an annex. So there's a socialist revolt in Medina, but more importantly, Italy is doing a big communism. Italy. How dare. Romagna is split? Is not split. How dare. Give me your states. Alright. So... let's see. This is curious. Can I still can't support lobbies, which is a shame. Because I would love to be able to support lobbies. We're paying a lot less in interest now. But, of course, infamy is a factor. Belgium sides with Mecklenburg against nihilist revolt. Okay, that's fine. That's just fine. And there's elected bureaucrats. So, that should save us a barrel on institutions. While also making the government more efficient. I hope it's made the government more efficient. It sure feels like it has. We do have quite a few states that are now low on taxation capacity, which, curious. But, you know, them's the breaks. How low is Bowman? Let's see. Styria needs 1 level. Württemberg needs 1 level. Oh my goodness, I forgot to start incorporating these areas. I'm a fool! A fool! And I need to build taxation capacity in some of them. Let's build 4 levels, I think, in Ruhr. And, oh my goodness. Rhineland needs global market access. Golly. Oh my gosh, I think they all do. Communist criminality. So, actually, I should read you the Red Scare. The emergence of a powerful communist regime in a foreign country has aroused fears among certain segments of the population that Austria will be the next to fall to communism. Domestic political currents with left-wing agendas have already fallen under scrutiny of anti-communist forces. They're being accused of being harbingers of bloody revolution and agents of foreign powers. Will fail if at least one of these, Austria has enacted any variant of council republic, or any civil war in Austria as a revolution is greater than or equal to 75% progress. If time runs out, triggers the event of settler terror. Do we have a socialist movement? We do. They're even stronger than my radical movement. I could start suppressing them. We have a separate communist movement that's weaker. But can the government bear such expense? If we cut our consumption tax on meat, we'll have enough to suppress the socialist movement. And that'll be fine. Communist criminality. Rumors about the atrocities of communists in Italy have reached the Austrian press, with reports about crimes against humanity and stacked corpses filling the front pages of newspapers. Golly, that is graphic. Did you hear the bombings the other day? This time it was the lawyer, one of the big ones, advising the government. Another one? Heavens, that's the 3rd this month. This is supposed to be a safe country. Safe? Bah! Not with these communist rats running about. They'll kill us all if we don't kneel down first. Who knew that people could be so barbaric? Deteriorates relations by 25%. 2% of upper stardom pops in Austria become more loyal. Or they ought to publish something else for once. Industrials get weaker media for propaganda, and deteriorates relations by 5. I'm going to deteriorate relations by 25 to make my upper classes more loyal. Let me see. How are things going with Hannover? We're almost at the point where relations are no longer poor, and their liberty desire is going down despite support from Prussia. Support of their independence from Prussia. So they'll lose that line item for... Oh, they've... Wait. Yes. Okay. Relations are neutral. Huh. Okay, so only now that relations are neutral are they going down. They are pretty dependent on us economically. They could be more so. Perhaps I will fill out the rest of these oil wells. These oil rigs are not fully employed, which is interesting. A lot of their buildings are not exactly productive, but that's okay. How much are we paying in interest? Not that much. We're doing pretty well financially. So, going after Britain. Go beer. They're going after go beer. That's fine. That's fine. I needn't concern myself with go beer. Hold on. Why are you going up now? You're getting more support and independence from Prussia and Japan. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. France. Why must these people be so belligerent? Why can I not simply conquer bits and pieces of Germany in peace? In peace, I say. Oh my goodness. Well, this all might end up being a fool's errand, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me... How close am I to... This would be 4.3 infamy if I snag the Bremen-Ratner Republic. I don't think anyone would stop me because this is a communist state in Europe. Is Hamburg also doing communism? They're not. Oldenburg, not them either. But yes, they're doing Council Republics. So, once I get below 45, once I get down to 45 infamy, I'll be able to snag the Bremen or Rata Republic, and then I can reduce the liberty desire of Hanover by granting them that territory. Red Revolution, yellow headlines. Newspapers sympathetic to the interests of the Kleinbürger have printed numerous stories about the revolutionary desires of communists in Austria. The articles paint lurid pictures of strikes and planned terrorism. The Red Plague festers. Correspondents from across the world have reported the unnatural stirrings of a thought most foul, that man no longer be entitled to the sweat of his brow, that many hard-working Italian citizens no longer have natural rights to his property, and that his privacy will be no more than a fleeting desire. That thought is communism, and it is coming for everyone in Austria. We must get the situation under control. Stronger fascist and reactionary movements. 2% of Kleinbürger pops become more loyalist. Or we cannot have a panic on our hands. Weaker and saltier Kleinbürger. I'm going to go with the first one. That probably won't have any consequences. Oh, that's right. Britain's still doing a British Raj. Right, because Hyderabad has their support. That is what it is. Alright, so now I need to be careful because taking on infamy right now is going to decay my relations with Hanover. And again, I need to keep my relations with Hanover good in order for this to work. They're only at minus 16 right now. If I can get up to minus 15, then I should have enough of a buffer to snag this territory without creating a problem. So let's do it. We'll just wait until this crosses over this line, and then we'll take what we wish to take. Hold on. Transfer subject. You're a subject of the French. Never mind. Whew! Glad I saw that and checked. Alright, let's look at other targets. Oldenburg, too much infamy. Hamburg, almost none infamy. Are you someone's subject? You're not. I would enjoy a delicious hamburger. Who would step in? Scandinavia, not too worried about that. Japan, not too worried about that either. I'll be delighted if Japan steps in, because then I'll have a truce with them. I'll just mobilize the Western District Coastal Defense Force for a naval invasion, and that will be everything we need to accomplish. Now, if Scandinavia steps in, do I siege Schleswig-Holstein? That's the big question. The question now on everyone's mind is, do I siege Schleswig-Holstein? This area is predominantly North German, so that this would be... Oh, never mind. There's a Prussian uprising there, so they no longer have a front. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I succeeded. I picked the perfect time to act. It was the smartest. I'm so cool and fun and good at video games. France, do stop trying to decay relations. Ooh, they ate a bunch of Spanish territory. That's fine. Ooh, combustion engine. That's very good. What is that? That gets us something really cool. I don't know why I closed the window when it was something I wanted to see. Combustion engine. Right. This gives us truck transport for all our stuff and unlocks the automotive industry. All right. Let's develop ourselves an automotive industry. So, what goes into automotive? I'm going to do it this way. Urban. Automotive. So you need rubber, oil, and engines. So the best place is somewhere with oil and an engines industry, a motor industry. Do we have... Where do we have our motor industries? We've got motor industries in a lot of different areas. Let's actually use this interface, because this will make this easier. Motor industries. Not a lot where we've got our oil. So I believe our oil is in West Galicia and Ostgalicia. Let's double check on that before I get all silly about this. Yeah, it's in Galicia. So, from here... Oh, I've got access to combustion engine derrick. That's definitely useful. I'm definitely going to do that. Let's make that change now before I forget. So, West Galicia, you've got a ton of... No, it's East Galicia? East Galicia is where all my oil capacity is. So, first we'll build up 10 levels of motor industries, and then we'll build up 10 levels of auto industries. And being the first to automobiles is great fun, although I'm not going to be the first to automobiles, because that tech spread to me. I didn't get that from nowhere. Anyway, if Hanover decides to revolt, it will simply be what it is, and we will fight them back and annex them, and that will be fun. I'll have plenty of opportunity to seize states from our enemies who are supporting them, particularly if Prussia steps in. If Prussia steps in, then I can seize Westfalen, and maybe I'll grab Anhalt as well, and then we'll just start doing stuff. Now, ooh, actually, I should go for Braunschweig, because getting more of Braunschweig, would also be a way to get Hanover's liberty desire down. There's a Bulgarian uprising in the Ottoman, which normally I would see opportunity in. For now, we're simply doing as we wish. Let's get our fleet actually over there, so that our naval invasion will be ready to go as soon as we wish it. Armed forces petition government. Interesting. Representing his constituents in the armed forces, Archduke Friedrich von Habsburg-Lothringen has issued a formal petition to the Austrian government to pass colonial resettlement. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Well, is that it? Goodness, you seem as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure I can spare the last hours of light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They were not taking no for an answer. We'll see what we can do. They'll ask us to pass colonial resettlement, or they must understand the present situation does not allow for this. They become salty, and I lose legitimacy. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to see what I can do, because I can definitely pass colonial resettlement with no problems. Do I have the armed forces in the government? I do. I do indeed. I can't get any more legitimacy than I've got already. I mean, it could boot out the armed forces, but that wouldn't be useful to me. Corporate governance unlocked. Ooh, extra companies. That's wonderful, because I can form a car company as soon as I've got automotive industries, and that'll be fine. Well, actually, I've already got automotive industries. Well, I'm going to need more anyway, so. Them's the breaks. All right. Hamburg does not have any forces, so this should be really, really straightforward. North Italian mass immigration. Exciting. Wow, France is really breaking off chunks of Spain. Are you a cultural exclusion? Yeah. France starts a cultural exclusion. They're lucky that way. How's my occupation? It's a process. It's probably going to go really fast, because they don't have anybody ready to defend. And then I can simply pass this territory to Hanover. And get their liberty desire going down. Down, 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 down. And that'll be nice. Alright. Can't grant state because we're not... Hold on. I think that's going to go away as soon as the week is over. Not committed in a diplomatic play. My guy, we aren't. What are you talking about? What is going on? What is going on with our cash flow? Well, I mean, I'm gonna start incorporating the place. What is going on? Oh, because we're building. That's because we're building. Hanover, are you in a... You're in the Hessian Socialist Revolt, which I'm not involved in. That's what's going on. Alright, well played, Hanover. Well played, sir. Oldenburg. Interesting. So from here, snag Saxon from Saxon. The ethics of exploitation. The government's attempt to pass the colonial resettlement law has brought the ethics of colonialism to the forefront of public debate. We have no right to interfere, control, or exploit. They say we bring civilization. We bring misery and depression. We rig the entire social economic structures of the colonies to serve our selfish needs. Colonial resettlement is morally correct. 20% chance of 10% enactment chance, 40% chance of 20% enactment chance, 40% chance of minus 10% enactment chance. Or, we can concede to some of their points. 50% chance of 10% enactment chance, 25% chance of 20% enactment chance, 25% chance of minus 10% enactment chance. So, the first one has a larger average increase. There's an average increase of 60% across 100% of the options, whereas the second one has an average... No, the second one actually has an average increase that's higher across all of the possible results, as well as having a lower chance of a reduction. So I'm going to go with the second one. Shabamzo, we got 20%. Excellent. I'm delighted. Well, this situation in Hanover is a pickle. I don't want to simply stop conquering places. What about Braunschweig? 11.1 infamy to take them. That's going to make giving them Braunschweig a lot easier. Could support Tripolitania in exchange for a conquer war goal against an important Italian state. That would be nice. Provence would hardly cost me any infamy, but obviously that's not a state I need. Obviously Emilia would not be that much. Can I get Romagna? I could, but it's a lot of infamy. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to be careful, I'm going to be reasonable, and I'm going to stop trying to get up to things. So in preparation for colonization, is there anywhere that I can actually colonize with a reasonable capability? France, can you dial it back, please? France, why are you always getting up to a situation? Why are you always causing a situation? Why can't it ever go smooth? I am gonna improve my relations with my southern neighbors here. Where are we with interest? We're okay. I think this is a song from the new situation. I think this is a new situation song. DLC. The DLC is the phrase I'm looking for. Law debate failed. Gosh dang it. It's okay. This isn't something I actually am all that invested in. It's just the armed forces asked it of me. Conquering Saxon's going to be tough. On the other hand, if I devour Saxon, who steps in? Potentially Russia, potentially the United States. But not Prussia, which is interesting. Netherlands, potentially, yes. But if the Netherlands is going to come in, they're going to go for Gelre. If I go directly for Gelre, USA definitely steps in. Mexico steps in. New Granada steps in. I'm not really afraid of them. Maybe Gelre is the next place we go, actually. Because Gelre is a target. Heatwave in Austria-Schlesien? Unbelievable. How dare. Absolutely, and I cannot emphasize this enough, dare. Just quickly refill my water here. Pour water all over the table. Just as Jesus Christ intended. It's okay. As long as I don't pour water all over my computer, it'll be fine. I've never poured water all over my computer. Other people have poured water all over my computer, but I was able to deal with it. It didn't create a giant problem. Have I really never poured water all over my computer? There has to be some time in which I've poured water all over my computer, but within recent memory, it has only been done by other people. And obviously not intentionally, because that would be odious. The white emigres. This is white, excuse me, politically, not ethically. A stream of wealthy South Italian emigres fleeing the communist regime in Italy have sought shelter in Austria, bringing with them tales of revolutionary terror and unbridled proletarian excess. The worst was these new secret police, just like the old ones. They would round up people they didn't like, usually when all was dark and quiet. Sometimes the day, too. And if we ever saw liquor trucks going to their offices, well, we never saw our neighbors again. We had to get out. Very brave. We'll take good care of you here. Anything for Italy's most upstanding citizens. Give them a platform to tell their stories. A character appears. Austrian Montenegro gets emigre politics. Increased migration attractions, socialist movement, and communist movement pop attractions. Or a tragic procession. No extra character. Emigre politics for 5 years. Twice the modifiers. Let's go with the first one. Ludovico Ruggiero appears. He is a traditionalist aligned with the Austrian aristocracy. So, I should be able to form a car company now. So let's take a look at companies. Alright, here we go. East Galicia Premium Motor Formation Speed. That's not that great. General Advancement in Siege Artillery Offense. That's really strong. Can I get a better car company? Does this car company produce... This car company doesn't even produce better cars. Hold on. This is silly. Where can I make myself a really rock-solid car company? Let's go with attainable. Brun-type engines. Okay, that's not a car. This is not a car. That's select fish. Alright, that doesn't help us. Quickfire artillery from Rhineland. Army defense, shrapnel, and siege artillery offense. That's pretty good. What do I need for this? Level 5 military production building in Ruhr. That's a shame. Military buildings are hard enough to keep productive. Couture. Oh, extra prestige and loyalists from political movements. That's really strong. Acorn-fed pork. That's nice. Chapel radios from Philips. Let me see. I need to have Gelre have Electrics Industries. For that. Pure Opium. Bohemia Plantations Company. Bohemia? You're telling me Bohemia has opium capacity? Unbelievable. Okay, can I get a better car company? And if so, what do I need to do to achieve that? Talk to me, video game. Your cars, your touring automobiles. I need Fiat. To get that, I need Piedmont. Well, southward expansion is starting to seem more reasonable these days. Maybe I'll do it. Any other good... Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, so I think at this point... so we'll hold that slot open until we've got a hold of Piedmont, which is now an expansion target. A very important one, in fact. Are you still up in a situation? You are. Alright, well played, Hanover, well played. You stopped me from giving you extra land. You did it. Oh, I wish I could steal this territory, but I can't. I've got to keep being reasonable, friends. It's not my fort. It's not my specialization as a player, you see, to be reasonable all the time. It's not something I naturally do when I'm playing. But I will have to do it. Because that's what I've got to do. I'm still getting a very solid increase to infamy reduction, which is serving me really well. Let me see. Hanover and I should have a truce. But reducing their autonomy with infamy is just so complex. It makes things very, very complicated. Oh man, I can't believe my relations with Serbia got so bad. Austrian monarchs in a lot of different situations being surprised about their lack of good relations with Serbia. Oh my goodness, an Italian radical revolt. How exciting. So, no one looks likely to step in. An obligation. Italian radical revolts, what are you doing? Universal suffrage parliamentary republic. You know what? I'm going to support them because we're stopping the spread of communism in Europe. Alright, so we've got a couple of different fronts here. We'll put the European Security Army on our main front. We'll put General Command South on the front here in Emilia. And then we'll put the Southern District Coastal Defense Force on the front in Campania. And that should prove an entire sufficiency of forces to accomplish everything we could wish to accomplish in this war. Cash flow is pretty stable, so I'm feeling pretty all right about that. And we're going to help the forces of reaction win a war. That's very good. I think I'm actually going to also mobilize the Northern District Coastal Defense Force, just to get a little bit stronger in Campania. Now, where is the capital of the current government? It's in Rome. It's in Lazio. All right, so we will set Lazio as our strategic objective. For all of our armies. And that, yes, that one, should allow us to conclude the war speedily. Do a promotion. The intelligentsia demand the promotion of Lieutenant General Edmund von Kobratin, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Miklas's face when the field marshal learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. He's earned it. gets promoted to general. Intelligentsia become happier, or they will not force our hand. Industrialists become happier. Intelligentsia become less happy. I do so love having migration traction. We'll say he's earned it. Alright, so... And we're suppressing the socialist movement and the radical movement, and now they're just very, very weak. And that's fine. That's just fine. That's all we could ask for. Hey, Hanover, you're done with your thing? No, they're still doing their thing. Although I guess now I'm the one in a war, so, you know, bully for me, I suppose. I'm short on authority now. Perhaps I had a temporary authority bonus which is expired. I think I did. I think it was the bonus from catching that, the Ripper. The Austrian Ripper. Well, unfortunately, that means a tax on liquor is going to have to go. You know, I don't need to do violent suppression in Alsace-Lothringen anymore. Because this place can mostly function. So let's throw that liquor tax back into effect. Do a quick pass through. Oh, actually, we have quite a few places we don't have sufficient taxation capacity. Where else? Ooh, Banat. We need 2 additional government sectors in Banat. Ah, right. And all the others are suffering penalties due to simply being recently incorporated. Alright, law debate success. Back up to 21%. Haven't had much interactivity with this whole process, but them's the breaks. And there's radio. Wonderful. So, Great Britain. What is happening? Sir. You're trying to liberate Deseret? Ah. How much silliness this is. Oh my goodness, you're trying to liberate Deseret. You banana? You absolute banana? Of course I will accept. Whether or not I'll actually do anything. Alright, French Republic sides with them. Well, that is inconvenient for my schedule. Oh, actually, no, that's not inconvenient. That's not inconvenient because I can set... Okay, first of all, mobilize all of our armies. Oh. Okay, no, that doesn't help too much. I'm gonna leave that cars thing be for now. I'm going to raise my conscripts. And I'm going to add as my war goal the conquest of Bremen. I might be able to do that. Conquer state. Here we go. Perfect. This is perfect. So now I can get this army over here, and that'll be just perfect. These fronts have merged, meaning this army can go to France. Actually, perhaps this army should stay in Italy. This army should go to France. Although this army is moving across enemy territory now for some reason. Why can't you just be normal? Victoria 3 screams. Alright, let's, rivalry broken. Spain has fallen in Spain has fallen to a minor. Alright, well, them's the breaks. Alright, the Italian arc. With arrested communists beginning to stream into Austrian prisons, figures within the government have suggested deporting the non-citizens among them to Italy aboard a chartered cargo ship. Just as the sailing of the ark that Noah built was a pledge for the preservation of the human race, so the sailing of the Italian ark is a pledge for the preservation of Austria. A wonderfully poetic suggestion. 226 shopkeepers, Khmer Theravada shopkeepers in Elsass-Lothringen, will move to Romagna. Interesting. Khmer being Cambodian, Theravada being a form of Buddhism. 2% of Pops in Elsass-Lothringen become more loyalist, or they will serve their sentences on our own soil. Kleinberger, unhappy. This is the sort of thing that... This is exactly the sort of wonderful reactionary nonsense that we're going to get up to in this run. Yeah, we'll send them. We'll deport these Cambodian people to Italy. Absolutely. Just normal and reasonable. Alright. Alright, so I think... Frankly, I think the front in Italy is doing so good that I might be able to pull off my main army for support in France. What does France desire out of this? Oh, not this one. France, what are you asking for here? You're asking for... nothing yet, which is interesting. Well, Italy should... Yes, so Italy has war support protection here. So we should be good to go. Yeah, this is still 2 fronts, unfortunately. Perhaps we'll move this army to this one. And then this, our largest army, to deal with the French. Yeah, I think this is the right call. Nothing bad will come of this. It's good. We're good. Wonderful. Alright, beautiful. I heard an event pop off somewhere. Colonial enthusiasm. We're short on ironclads. That's interesting. Hold that thought. The news that the government intends to pass the colonial resettlement law has created great enthusiasm among those that are eager to exploit. They're eager to exploit. Yeah! Red-tailed hawk.wav. To exploit new and distant lands. Eager to exploit new and distant lands. Profit and adventure lie in wait for all those brave enough to embark with us. An untamed world awaits us, just waiting for us to deliver some good Austrian civilization. And if the natives object, make sure you have your rifle close at hand. Slow down, the law isn't signed yet, 20% active chance. We will take our rightful place in the world stage. Extra prestige. Extra enactment success chance, increased enactment time. Or load the ships we depart for distant shores. Extra colonial growth speed for 5 years. I'm just going to go with enactment success chance. I don't really have a lot of colonial plans at present, so I think I'm just chilling where I am at the moment. Alright, so situation in Italy seems very well in hand. Situation in France will be pretty well in hand. Let's reset our strategic objectives to Paris, just for the sake of reasonableness. Why is there now a Volta front? Ah, in Africa. That's fine. That's a British. That's a Brituation. All right, you're good. You're good. There we go. And that is fine. Yeah, I know I got Pops living below the minimum expected standard of living, but I maybe they should enrich themselves. Well, interesting. Hanover is actually going down in liberty desire. All those other countries have gone, oh, we don't want to fight the Austrians. That's very good, because it means that I can hand off this territory to them in good order. We are moving successfully forward in the Bremen-Rata Republic, so that's good. Civil war in Greece. What manner of civil war? Oh no, what? A radical revolt. That's fine. It does appear that we are winning our attacks over here, so no problems there. Western District Coastal Defense Force is moving back to the fatherland, so that's fine. And this looks like it's going to go really well. Britain's bringing a bunch of armies back over to Britain to keep things locked down there, which is fine. Are we continuing to win battles? We are. Despite our blunder, we are winning battles. France. France. Ya goober. Ya old so-and-so. Law progressed to assent. Wonderful. I can't wait for the armed forces to be pleased with me. And to bring up my frickin' legitimacy. Ooh. And there's wargaming. Excellent. So that's extra army offense. We're about to snag defense in depth, which is really, really good. Do we go for electric railways after that? I think maybe yes. I can produce the better artillery at this stage. And Hanover, are you still in your own war? You're not. All right, beautiful. So once I'm not in a war, then we'll all be happy and jazzed. And I can hand you those states, and everything will be hunky-astorious, as we say in Rome, where I am currently located. Do we keep? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. This war will be over presently. Alright, we are moving forward in Lorraine. We got 51% occupation, probably more after this battle. And Great Britain is trying to pull us into another engagement. A Uyghur-Stani uprising. You know what? Sure. Oh, you want me to fight the Russians for you? Well, them's the breaks. What would be extremely rude is if I posted only coastal defense forces to the Russian border. I don't know that I will be able to win that way, but one thing at a time. Britain has called us, and we have chosen to come. So let's get these armies, there's Italy sorted out, on defense. Because at least for now... So Italy. Let's maybe talk about being... Oh, no. I do not want to be better friends with you because I need all of that influence. Well, let me see. I don't really need better relations with Serbia. Do I need better relations with the Netherlands? I don't think so. Bulgaria, I certainly don't need better relations with. Alright, we're back at 95% excess. Force comparison here doesn't look super hot, but we're still moving forward in France with a good solid force comparison. Against the odds, despite not enjoying full rights under Austrian law, some wealthier North Italian people had begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. North Italians are overwhelmingly fully accepted. If we want our children to have a future, this is where we should raise them, he said. I want them to live somewhere safe. She crossed her arms. Have you seen the looks we get? When people talk about safe, they don't mean safe for us, they mean safe from us. We made some new regulations to keep the peace. Extra radicalism for discriminated pops. 2% of North Italian pops in Austria become more radical. Or, they fairly earned their success with all that entails. Saltier and weaker Kleinberger. 2% of North Italian pops in Austria become more radical. We're going to put new regulations in place. We're doing big reactionarism, gosh dang it. We are a reactionary power. We are doing the thing we are doing. So the real question is are our allies going to be sensible here? If they're not, we're going to need to pull an army, because if our allies decide to be going forward in this whole, this situation, then we're going to need to pull an army. Uh-oh. No, this isn't my war. I don't need to worry about that. Shan States Front, not my business. Not at all a concern for Austria what happens in Southeast Asia. I needn't concern myself with it. No one ever war goal against me, doesn't seem like it. Looks like the United States are actually losing war support faster than the British are, but we'll see if that sticks around when Britain tries to physically invade the United States. But that having been said, I am a kind of a Germany, and I am on a two-front war, and I am feeling fine. So, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good overall. I'm doing pretty good overall. My force comparison has improved to positive, and though we are losing a battle, exactly 100, wish I could check what thing that means, but that's okay. We are now on a positive force comparison here, which is shocking and delightful. There's defense in depth. That's going to increase our defense further on this front. Really, really funny. Sadly, some enemy occupation in East Galicia. Let's hope we're able to stem that tide. Again, if that doesn't hold, we're going to need to pull an army over from the west. We are going really well forward into France. So let's grab General... Actually, nope, we're still holding on defense right now, so that should be fine. That should be absolutely fine. Because again, I really want to get control of the Bremer Rada Republic, because once I do, I can pass those states to Hanover, and that's what's going to get me control of Hanover. That's going to be beautiful. Britain? How about just investment rights for trade privileges? They did it. You fool! Achievement unlocked franchising. Nice. How's my investment pool? It's still not nearly as full as I would wish it to be, but them's the breaks. Again, as long as I can keep myself... What I really want is to get Champagne, and then when I get Champagne, I'm one state away from Ile-de-France, and then I'll be more confident. But actually, I think General Command South needs to come over. No. I'm going to hold to my present course. We're being reactionaries. We'll stay the course. We need to stay the course. Our allies are winning naval battles over here, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Here in the channel. We are losing this battle, unfortunately. I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm holding off against the Russians using coastal defense forces. The mind boggles. I do have a training method streamlining I can go to, but actually, I think now that I'm in these wars, I need to do some upgrades. So I can't go to radio production because I don't have electrics industries. All right. I need to. It's the worst time ever to be building to be trying to build myself the necessary infrastructure to produce radios, but I've just got to do it. South Tyrol and Vojvodina, you both need power plants because you're going to be producing radios. Happily, power plants get built pretty fast. We're winning this battle. We're lost. They're exhausted. Normal Tuesday night on the Western Front. Britain, you really are in a lot of wars. What's happening over here? Oh, France is trying to invade the Raj. Sambas is in default. Okay, that's no business of mine. Now, what's my war support look like? My war support's good. I don't have any war support protection. But my war support is going down faster than France's is. So if France can be... And I've got a hold of my war goal. So if France can be forced out and forced to capitulate, then I can get my war goal over here, and then at that point I'll deal with the Russians. How are these battles going? Our side is winning both. Wonderful. Yeah, see, this is the thing about Russia. They're not good at forming themselves a modern army. I am going to form a modern army, but it's going to cost a huge barrel full of cash. Speaking of cash, I've got a little bit for another consumption tax. Let's throw it onto... Am I taxing my own barracks? What is this? Hold on a sec. There are pops buying guns. Well, that's fun. I'll throw a consumption tax on small arms. Absolutely. I would be delighted to have a cut of my people's lust for firepower. Hey, government petition completed. Gives me a little bit of extra legitimacy, which is nice. Give me a small number of ticking loyalists. I'll be able to get more once I'm no longer supporting Hanover's regime, but I'm supporting Hanover's regime to make them feel less desirous of liberty. Now, the United States should have war support protection. And they are, because New Africa, North Carolina, Pueblo, and Deseret will all need to be manually taken by the British in order to be liberated. And so far, that doesn't seem likely to happen. Honestly, kind of funny that they're even trying. But balkanizing the United States isn't the least funny thing that's happened in this. This is us advancing. But we're losing a defensive battle over here. The British have decided to go forward there, which, you know, wish they wouldn't, but them's the breaks. France's war support is now ticking rapidly down. Mine is ticking down at a good clip as well. Nobody's got war goals against me, though, so if I fall out of the war, that's not actually a tragedy. All right. So, excellent. France has bailed out of the war. I got Austrian Elbe. And now, I can move these armies over to the front with the Russians. To invade Russia. So, we'll swap these armies over to advance. And we'll set strategic objectives to Ingria. Can I mass set strategic objectives? I can. Yes, I can. I think I did. No, it's only the one. All right, that's okay. That's okay. Excuse me, what is... What are you? You're an American naval invasion via this lake in Switzerland? Man, those are some navies that the Americans have got. I tell you what. I can't grant the state because I'm stuck in a diplomatic play, but I won't be stuck in a diplomatic play for much longer, hopefully. Because this thing with the Russians should sort itself out in good order. Unregulated automobiles. Due to a spate of accidents, there have been calls to regulate automobiles. It has been reported that an automobile veered off the road and into a nearby river. Faster than a horse and twice as heavy. People don't see why that's dangerous. I don't know what to tell you. Stricter laws make streets safe. Industrialists salty. Reduced motor industry's throughput. People merely need to adjust. Happier industrialists. Or automobiles should have the right of way. 5% of lowest turn pops in the country become more radical. People merely need to adjust. I've never had any negative consequences from making that decision, so we'll do as we like. I don't know how the United States is invading here. This army is probably short in supply. No, they're not. Well, they're short, but not that much. All right, Austria and Elba is still in the process of being incorporated. Again, once we hand that territory over to Hanover, things will be very, very well. I suppose I could do a naval invasion in Ingria, but that's a British thing, and typically they handle that themselves, usually. So my war support in this war is going down steadily, but again, nobody's got a war goal against me. Oh, Russia's out of the war. Well, that's fine. Are they out of this war? Yes, they are. So, now there's just this thing with the Americans. I think I can probably safely... I'm going to stay in... Just for role-playing reasons, I'm going to stay until my war support falls below 0. The European Security Army can be in main HQ. General Command North can be in the same HQ. General Command South... Ooh, elevators. Nice. And electrical capacitors. That's wonderful. General Command South can be here. Southern District Coastal Defense Force can go here. There's the Uyghur Secession dealt with. Northern District Coastal Defense Force can go back to the Northern District. Western District Coastal Defense Force can go to the Western District. And all will be well. One more week, and then I am free to bail out. Alright, so that's the end of our war. Let's start finagling things with Hanover. If I grant them Austrian Elbe, that'll get their liberty desire down by 39. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to increase their autonomy. I'm going to reduce their subject payments. And I'm going to grant them... If I grant them Braunschweig, that'll reduce it by 39 still. So what are they currently at? They're currently at 59. We do have a truce, so I can't annex them. So I'm actually going to hold on to Braunschweig for the time being, because now that I've got control over them, I can just simply start. I can simply start devouring states. Prussia and the Netherlands would fight me if I devoured Oldenburg, but that would give me a great opportunity to devour Westfalen and Gelre. But that would cost me a lot of infamy. What if I went directly for Gelre instead? 22.5, again, a lot of infamy. Mexico would try to stop me, Prussia would try to stop me, Scandinavia would try to stop me, New Grenada would try to stop me. But nobody who has, you know, nobody who's, like, actually a threat. This is maybe getting really greedy, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it, because then I can simply consume these smaller territories at my leisure. Do I wait until I've got Hanover fully annexed? That's going to be 5 years. I don't think I do. Now's a good time to get into a war with the Prussians while I've got a lot of good truces. So yeah, let's steal Gelre. Let's steal the rest of Gelre. Sadly, I can't do a return CD for Gelre, but that's okay. So we'll send the European Security Army. There's actually a separate front in Hanover. The Northern District Coastal Defense Force will handle it. And we'll see what comes of this. Again, extremely likely the Prussians get involved. If they do, I will seize Westfalen. And then I'll really need to dial it back. Okay, the Egyptians are salty now. But that's okay. That's okay. I can live with that. Cash flow is good. Cash flow is good, so as long as this war doesn't become silly, Alright, Mexico sides the Netherlands. Still not worried. Prussia sides the Netherlands. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. Let's get all the lads together. And you know what? Oh, I really didn't plan this perfectly well because I don't have the electric industries to produce the radios that I should like to be producing. So I can't simply upgrade all of my artillery, can I? I can upgrade some. So shrapnel artillery takes... siege artillery takes how many radios per level? Only one. So what's my current radio's output? 160. So I can actually do it in... at least in my main armies without too much of a problem. Can't upgrade because we don't have any supply of radios. Are they not producing radios? Maybe I need to wait a week. Oh, right. The lads are mobilized. So, let's, these armies on the border with Prussia. This should be fine. And that's insane. We're not going to do that. Transfer subject, Duchy Indies, absolutely not. I want Westfalen. Oh my gosh, Westfalen's only 11 infamy. Based. Alright, let's do it. Well, I mean, now that I got all this infamy between me and 100, there's so many states looking real good right now. But no, I need to be reasonable about this. I can't become a pariah amongst the great powers by simply... Okay, all the fronts have merged. Right, because all of the fronts are with Austria now, which is very funny. So we'll see what comes of this. I'm going to put this fleet on convoy rating. Oh, I need a new leader. Let me see. You're a climber. Ooh, no. You're an experienced naval commander. Let me see. You are Admiral Anton House. Welcome to the family, son. All right. I'm feeling very confident about this. Cash flow's terrible, but them's the breaks. Italy is damaging relations. That's a shame, but it is what it is. So, can I now upgrade these artillery units? I can. Now, at least upgrade the professional forces. So what does this do to my supply of radios? It's okay. It's okay. We're doing okay, friends. Let's do the Coastal Defense Forces auxiliary units as well. And force comparison here looks rock solid. I don't even feel I need anyone's help on this. I think the Mexicans are barely involved. Well, no, I mean they're sending their armies, but what I mean is I'm not scared of them. That's really what I mean. They're not. It's not that they're not involved. It's that the Ejército Mexicano is a lot of really outdated units, and I'm not concerned. I'm unbothered. Okay, all right, never mind. The number of radios is insufficient. So let's take a quick look at the radio situation. It'll be better for me long term if I build up the necessary facilities. So Vojvodina and South Tyrol. Let's get the necessary facilities being built. Vojvodina, you're here. So things are going to be a little hairy when we first get started, but after that, they'll be just fine. I still have a rock-solid force comparison here, so I'm not really concerned over much. Should I set strategic objectives? We'll set this army to go to Westfalen. That was General Command North. General Command South will take Gelre. And the European Security Army will seize Brandenburg. And those are our goals. Those are our goals. Hanover is still going down in liberty desire. Oh, less now that... Okay, so my infamy didn't come into effect until they were already up there, but that's okay. I can exempt them from service from here on out, and maybe that'll allow me to do... to get their liberty desire going down faster. That would be extremely funny. But no, because I still want to keep... I eventually want to do my technique of feeding them states until I can get them properly annexed. We are absolutely smashing forward in the Netherlands. That's not going to last much longer. Yeah, oh yeah, force comparison here is stupid. We're gonna... This isn't even going to be a problem. We'll be home by Christmas. We don't need to worry about this war with Germany. We'll be home by Christmas. We've fallen back to rank 2 in the rankings, but, you know, we'll continue to go forward. And it'll be very nice. I don't think Prussia is going to be able to form much of a Germany at all, with all of their territory held by me. Either directly or indirectly. Alright, so, front has been split. This army is at the Prussian front. There's war propaganda, very nice. So Prussia, we've now got Prussia's capital. We've got nearly all of the Netherlands occupied, so they are losing war support rapidly. So I should be able to simply seize everything I desire, and that will bring me one step closer to forming the Holy Roman Empire. Radio situation is not as bad as it could be. I think I made the right decision building up these electrics industries. Right, very nice. We are raiding enemy convoys. And that should be just fine. 6 more weeks until we're building these radios. I did need to have these radios. Like, these electrics industries are necessary for our long-term goals, which involve continuing to grow stronger militarily. Hey, France, let's be better friends. You're belligerent. Let's not be better friends. I need the infamy decay more than I need a better friendship with France. I tell you what. Am I not? I am improving relations with... Yes, we're at cordial. Wonderful. Wonderful. They are rebellious, but it's mostly due to infamy, and they are still going down in liberty desire over there in Hanover. If I hand them territory, I'll be in a position to annex, and that'll be just fine. It does mean I need to be a little bit chiller. I keep talking about being chill and then not doing it, but I do so love not being chill. It's my very favorite. For example, Schleswig-Holstein could be mine. Oh, God, what an opportunity I have with truces with France and Russia. Radio production. The production of radios in our factories has led to a boom in employment and profit. Telephones? No, no, no. Who wants a telephone? One person talks to another person. Useless. What you want is a radio. One person talks to hundreds, nay thousands, and the best part, they can't talk back. More radios, extra building radio output, or we should spread this knowledge to the Netherlands? No, absolutely not. More radios. Give me every radio. Gosh, Prussia really has become a pushover. Cross-border investments. Austrian industrialists are interested in making investments in neighboring Romanian industries. He stood up, put on his hat, and headed towards the door. At first it seemed as if he would leave without another word. Then he turned around and spoke with barely suppressed anger. Being accused of lacking in patriotism for where I try to make my money isn't just an insult. It betrays a complete lack of understanding of how money is made. Do you think I made what I already have by thinking provincially? An excellent investment. Improves relations with Romania. And Romania gets a manufacturing tax income increase. Or strong-arm them into investing domestically. The industrialists become mad, but increase manufacturing tax income here. I'm just going to say an excellent investment. I don't wish to piss off my industrialists. They like that free market stuff, and that's what we're going to do. Now, Gelre is still incorporated. They have some turmoil, but infrastructure is good. Taxation capacity is good. I'm going to reset production methods here, which I obviously need to do. And then I'll do the same in Westfalen once I'm holding it, and then we'll all be in a happy place. I probably could have taken on halt, but again, this thing here, not my British Republic. How absolute dare! Bakar Shinji. An oligarchic presidential republic. How curious. Britain has decided to embrace Buddhism. Ah, lovely. Alright. And there is sea lane strategies. Wonderful. So what this does is it allows the Imperial Navy to upgrade to scout cruisers. I'm going to dock these ships so that they successfully upgrade. And now we're going to reset production methods in Westfalen. And before I forget... No, try again. Before I forget, I'm going to start incorporating them. They don't have full market access. They got heckin' turmoil. Are their railways subsidized? They are. They're hiring. They're going up. Market access should be sufficient now. Alright, world market access they don't have enough of. We'll start building. And, you know, we'll build even more. Let me see. A little bit of starvation, a little bit of devastation. Westphalia is still split, but with only a few more places. Prussia supporting separatism. What are you going to do? Is there... It's low population. We're low population. We have input goods shortages. Is this a market issue? Not really. I think they're just down bad. Should I break some heads? Try and get turmoil down? No, that's going down. It's going down at a good clip now. Alright, so... How's Hanover doing? They are going up in Liberty Desire due to a support of independence from Russia. Now, I thought that they couldn't support independence because they have a truce with us. That does not appear to be correct. So, the trick is going to be handing them territories. But until we hand them territory... but we won't be handing them territories yet because that truce is still kicking around. So our goal now is to get their... is to get our infamy below 50, which shouldn't be too difficult at all. Vojvodina, why are your electric plants not... oh, they're just not sufficient. Well, that's okay. That's fine. We can build up more power plants. We can build up more power plants, and we can build up more electrics industries. How much do you require per level? 50. Okay, so actually, you're just going to need more power plants regardless for the moment, until we've got steam turbine, which I could get next. Electric railways is spreading, that's good. So let's snag steam turbine. We got dreadnought spreading now. We've got radios. After that, I could clear out the rest of... Yeah, let's clear out the rest of the tier 2, the tier 4 militaries, and grab NCO training. That'll get us up to squad infantry, which will make us feel really, really good. Really, really fat and happy. Trade centers in Westfalen obviously are going to take forever, but them's the breaks. A stable supply of power. The recent expansion of the power plants in Vojvodina has inspired faith in a future where all of Austria is electrified. Trapping the power of the roaring rivers and waterfalls by transforming it into the power of a thunderstorm must be a sign that we are approaching the final stage of man's mastery of nature. Are we ready, morally, intellectually, spiritually? It matters not. It is coming. Unlimited power! Power plants throughput plus 33%. All technology must be leveraged towards better trains, extra progress on electric railways, or there must be some way to better ways to produce electricity, extra progress on steam turbine. Okay, hold on. We got electric railways spreading, but we're not there yet. Yeah, let's get ourselves some better trains. That gets us most of the way there with that, which is really good. Regime support ends. Oh, that's not us. One thing I could do to delay Hannover would be to exempt them from service, which I will do. Again, granting them a state, not necessarily a right now option, but a more later option. We're at amicable at this point, which means we're getting the maximum amount of reduction in liberty desire increase that we have available to us from good relations. So yeah, now it's just an infamy game and making sure that more and more countries don't support their liberty desire. And, you know, if it's just a wait a few years and annex them situation, then we'll wait a few years and annex them. So now, let's take another look at where we are in terms of forming Central Europe. We have 24, we need 35. So it feels like we haven't made all that much progress, but we've made pretty good progress. With Elbe and Hannover and Braunschweig firmly under our control, again, we can seize Braunschweig and all these kind of at our leisure. We'll just sort of clean those all up. We'll try to get those done before 1905. And then we'll see what else we need to grab. Italy is quite belligerent towards us. They're doing a democratic republic. But obviously, a lot of people are belligerent towards us because we're at a lot of infamy, and our infamy is going to stay pretty much in the 25 to 50 range for the entire rest of the run. Theodore Roosevelt has been exiled from the United States of America. That's very funny. I might want him on my country. Oh no, he's a Kleinberger guy. He's not an industrialist guy. Can I get an industrialist who likes technocracy, please? Can I please have an industrialist who likes technocracy? Show me all the industrialists, computer. Modernizer, do you like technocracy? You don't care a bit. Do you like compulsory primary school, though, so that's nice. I could grab some modernizers. We got a lot of Indian modernizers. Oh, I don't know if they'll be able to be made leaders of my my interest group, however. Yeah, that's a shame. But them's the breaks. Get a free trade fella here, that hardly seems useful, and a reformer. But no technocrats. Sad. Tragic, even. It's a shame that I'm on oligarchy, because oligarchy is really... If I could get my industrialists just a little happier, then I could go to technocracy with no opposition. But alas, I cannot. That's the price you pay for doing big reaction. I can't believe this. I can't believe we're actually building electrics industries and power plants faster than the trade centers in Westfalen. Man, Prussia, you really goofed up Westfalen. It was definitely Prussia goofing it up, and not because I'd isolated them from their market. But that having been said, turmoil is going down as standard of living improves here. So, I'm feeling pretty good. Austrian Gelre Huh. Recently liberated. Reduce nationalization compensation and reduce radicals from nationalization. Hold the phone. Does that mean I can steal businesses? Who owns these? Actually, mostly I do. Or mostly Austrians do. These ones are owned partially by Krupp. Nationalize! Glassworks, we checked. Textile mills, mostly owned by Gelre. Arts academies, mostly owned by Gelre. Furniture manufactories, mostly owned by Gelre. Alright. Wait. Regional company headquarters could be... What company are you? Kirby? Okay, curious. What about you? Same deal. Okay, so I think these are someone else's company, actually. Unless I've devoured them by consuming their corporate headquarters. No, it doesn't seem that way. Okay, so hold the phone. This one we do need to nationalize, this Belgian privately owned one. So these textile mills, let's just see. Austrian privately owned, okay. Tooling workshop, that, I don't know why I keep checking that. I don't have a nationalized button for these, unfortunately. Steel mills, yep, okay, you're good. Glassworks, financial districts in Gelre. Okay, so, nope, those are privately owned. Alright, that's fine. And those are good. Alright. It seems like we're good. Now, what about the mines? The mines are in Portugal. Interesting. Nationalize. The logging camps have some private ownership in Saxony. Nationalize. Livestock ranches. Nothing I can nationalize here. These are all owned by the government. And what about the rye farms? Portuguese privately owned? Nationalize them. Alright. That should be just fine. Let's take a look at taxation capacity. We have a shortage in Württemberg, which I am more than happy to build up. We have a shortage in Ruhr, which I'll go ahead and build up. We seem like we're doing fine in Westfalen for now. No government admin, that can't be right. Nope, we're good. It's just fine. And then anywhere else... Oops, this is the screen I want to be on. Yes, East Galicia and Styria both need taxation capacity increases. And that will get done very efficiently and quickly. Hannover's Liberty Desire is still going up. So who else is supporting them? There's Russia, obviously, and Prussia. Okay, alright, so maybe truces don't actually affect it. Maybe I was wrong to think truces affected that. Let's get the rest of our units upgraded. And also, I think it's time to set our armies to using motor recon. Greece. Trade privileges for trade privileges and investment rights. Absolutely, Greece. I would be delighted. Absolutely delighted. I would be delighted to devour your economy. Who says you can't? Who says you can't? Cash flow is pretty bad. We're paying a lot in interest. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We just thought we were bad. We're not. We're doing fine. Alright, let me see. We've been going for quite a while here. I think that is going to be all the time we've got for this episode. We're making very good progress in Germany. We've got a hold of Gelre. We've got a hold of Westfalen. We got direct hold of all of Ruhr. We're more than adequately set up to devour all of this territory in northern Germany, to annex Hanover and to snatch all these countries up. And then we'll be, hopefully, in a really rock-solid spot in terms of what else we need for the formation of Central Europe. This is all one state. And then this is the rest of Westphalia. So once these are taken, that'll bring us up by one. Once Hanover's taken, Oldenburg, that'll bring us up another. Once Braunschweig and Braunschweig are conquered, that'll bring us up by a third. So that's so 1, 2, 3, 4 for all of these areas, 5 for Saxony, 6 for Schleswig-Holstein, and then it's just a little bit more conquests in Prussia or Netherlands or somewhere else, and we'll be good to go. So, I'm feeling very confident in our ability to reform the holiest of Roman empires before the end of the run, and I'm feeling really good. So, that is all I've got time for tonight, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.